Kevin Hart rose from the rough streets of Philadelphia, where dreams rarely survived and laughter was the only escape. His small frame and quick wit made him a target, not a star. No one believed a boy like him could ever touch Hollywood. But Kevin held on to something no one saw. A fire burning quietly inside, waiting for its chance to explode. The world knows the laughter, the sold-out arenas, the billion-dollar films. But they don't know the price he paid behind the scenes. Rejection, betrayal, loss. Kevin swallowed them all while smiling for the cameras. Fame came fast, but it wasn't free. For years, he kept a secret hidden behind the spotlight. A truth so deep, even his closest friends didn't see it coming. And when that secret finally surfaced, it changed everything. What Kevin Hart did next shocked the world forever. Kevin Hart was born into a world that offered little hope. His childhood in North Philadelphia was filled with chaos, fear, and uncertainty. His father battled a crippling drug addiction, disappearing for days, sometimes weeks, leaving Kevin and his mother to fend for themselves. The tiny apartment they lived in was cold and cramped, with cracks in the walls and danger lurking outside every window. His mother worked tirelessly, holding multiple jobs just to keep food on the table. But money was always short, and Kevin knew what hunger felt like. At school, he was the quiet kid with worn-out clothes and old sneakers that barely fit. Bullies circled him like vultures, waiting to pounce. But even in this darkness, something unusual began to show. Kevin discovered that making people laugh could protect him. A well-timed joke made the bullies pause. A funny face made the room forget the pain for a moment. Humor became his secret weapon, his way to survive a hard and unforgiving world. Kevin's dream of becoming a comedian was not welcomed with applause. His first stand-up performances were disasters. Crowds booed him off the stage. Some threw things. Others simply walked out. Every insult felt like a punch to the gut, shaking his confidence and making him question if he belonged in comedy at all. The harsh lights, the cold stares, the sound of silence after a joke. It crushed him. Friends told him to quit. Some laughed at his dreams, saying a kid like him could never make it big. Even Kevin started to wonder if they were right. Self-doubt crept in late at night, whispering that he wasn't good enough, not funny enough, not strong enough. But deep inside, something refused to die. He kept writing, kept practicing, kept stepping onto the stage, even when he knew the crowd might tear him apart again. Every failure became a lesson. Every rejection, a reason to try harder. Kevin knew this was the only way out. The only chance to change his life. Forever. Kevin's persistence slowly began to open doors, but the climb was steep. He landed small roles in films and TV shows, but they were forgettable parts. Tiny scenes, background characters, faces no one remembered. Each audition felt like another test of patience. Hollywood wasn't sure what to make of him. Was he too short? Too loud? Too different? The doubts kept coming. Money was tight. Bills piled up. And fame still felt like a distant dream. But then came Think Like a Man. It wasn't a leading role, but something about Kevin's energy exploded on screen. Audiences laughed, and for the first time, Hollywood laughed with them. Producers and directors finally noticed. The phones started ringing. Offers arrived. Kevin wasn't just another struggling comic anymore. He was a rising star. But behind the smiles and camera flashes, he knew this was only the beginning. The real battle for success had just begun. Success hit Kevin Hart like a storm. Stand-up tours sold out worldwide. His raw, honest humor filled arenas with thousands of fans. Netflix signed massive deals for exclusive specials, making him one of the highest-paid comedians on the planet. Hollywood couldn't get enough. Blockbuster films like Jumanji and Central Intelligence turned him into a household name across the globe. But Kevin wasn't just performing. He was building. He launched his own media company, Heartbeat Productions, creating content that shaped his brand. He invested in health and wellness products, energy drinks, fitness apps, turning laughter into empire. Business magazines started calling him the next billion-dollar mogul. His face appeared on covers. His name became power. Yet behind every deal, every project, was the same hungry kid from Philadelphia, refusing to stop, refusing to settle. Kevin Hart was no longer just a comedian. He was a brand, an unstoppable force rewriting the rules of entertainment. Behind the flashing cameras and roaring crowds, Kevin Hart quietly changed lives. Few knew of the scholarships he funded for underprivileged kids in Philadelphia. Fewer still heard about the surprise donations to struggling schools or the gym equipment he gifted to local community centers. He never boasted, never posted about it. His kindness stayed in the shadows. He remembered the hunger, the fear, the broken nights of his own childhood. And he couldn't stand to see other kids face the same darkness. So, while headlines praised his films and tours, Kevin built futures for kids who dreamed just like he once did. No interviews covered these stories. No red carpets asked about them. But in small classrooms and crowded playgrounds across his old neighborhoods, Kevin's quiet generosity sparked hope. He knew that true success wasn't measured in money or fame, but in the chances you create for others when no one's watching. Fame brought fortune, but it also brought shadows. Kevin Hart's life behind the spotlight was far from perfect. Scandals hit hard, rumors, betrayals, and the cheating controversy that exploded across the media. The world laughed at his jokes but whispered about his mistakes. Friends turned distant. Trust broke. Then came the car accident. A brutal crash left Kevin with a shattered spine, months of agony, and the terrifying thought that he might never walk again. The man who made millions stand and cheer now lay broken, fighting pain in silence. But Kevin wore a smile. On stage, he cracked jokes. In interviews, he laughed. Yet deep inside, the weight of fame, its pressure, its loneliness, burned heavy. The public saw the superstar, the unstoppable comic. But few understood the private cost, the silent suffering, the heavy price he paid to stay on top. After the crash and the scandals, Kevin Hart made a choice the world barely noticed. He turned inward, seeking therapy to face the pain and mistakes he had buried for years. No cameras followed him into the quiet rooms where he spoke about guilt, fear, and failure. At the same time, he launched a private foundation aimed at helping troubled youth in Philadelphia. No press releases. No headlines. Just quiet action. Mentoring, funding programs, giving kids the guidance he never had. He reached out to his estranged father, slowly rebuilding broken ties, forgiving past wounds to heal his own heart. This was his real comeback, not on stage or screen, but in life itself. The jokes kept flowing in public, but redemption was happening far away from the lights. Few knew this Kevin Hart, the man trying to fix what fame had cracked, to make peace where chaos once ruled. Kevin Hart's story isn't just about laughter or money. It's a lesson in survival, courage, and quiet strength. From the broken streets of Philadelphia to Hollywood's richest stages, he never let failure break him. Every fall became a step. Every mistake became a lesson. But the real victory wasn't fame or fortune. It was choosing to heal, to forgive, to give back. Away from cameras, he changed lives. Young kids, old friends, even his own family. His billion-dollar brand became more than business. It became redemption. Fame fades. Fortune shifts. But the peace Kevin found in rebuilding his life, that lasts. His journey asks a simple question to all of us. What truly matters in the end? Success or inner peace? Comment below.